What does a short guy have to do to like win you over?
Just be himself.
I think he has to have like a sense of humor.
So if he's like really funny,
Yeah.
he has some interesting hobbies,
Yeah, if he treats you well.
he's
well,
buff,
then.
he's rich.
So,
Yeah?
I mean, if he's rich, then
Yeah, I mean, if he's rich, then, yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And, you know, rather than going out and asking these girls questions, you know, what kind of guy are you into? Do you like a guy who's this? Let me just save you a whole lot of time here, guys. Girls care if you're short. Okay, if you're a short guy, you are at a disadvantage. Now, I don't care how many girls are out there saying, "Oh, well, I like a guy who's short. I've dated a guy who's short." Who cares? At the end of the day, if you're a short guy, you're disadvantaged. But anyway, guys, before we crack into today's video, if you're new here, what is going on? I am Taylor the Fiend, back again with another response video. And be sure to subscribe on your way in. Come and join the Discord link in the description if you haven't already. And as always, if you'd like to support the channel, guys, the link to the Patreon is in the description. You get access to exclusive videos and stuff like that. But before we crack into this video, guys, I'm going to leave a link to the full thing in the description. So if you'd like to watch this guy's interviews, feel free to go and watch his full video on it. But let's crack right in.
When you date a girl,
Yes.
does height matter?
Yes, sir. Height matters. You never want a girl that's taller than you.
Really?
Yeah, just feel emasculated, you know?
Tinder, you're swiping through on Tinder, you match with a guy, he's tall, he's smart, he's rich, he's got everything going for him, right? And then you meet up with him, right? He walks down the stairs, and then you realize he's short as fuck. What do you do?
I have dated somebody who was shorter than me. So
Okay, tell us.
I love these people, how like, as if it disproves anything, right? So if you ask a girl, you know, do girls like short dudes, right? And then the girl might say something like that. Oh yeah, you know, I've dated a guy who's shorter than me. Actually, it doesn't actually mean anything, right? Like these people want to point out, well, I'm the exception. I'm the exception. What we're looking at here is the rule, guys. Okay. So, you know, whenever we talk about relationships on this channel, you know, like there'll always be that one guy who, Taylor, you know, I lost my job and my wife stayed with me. It's like, yeah, cool. You have one data point, okay? Right? These people want to talk about, well, I'm the exception. I'm the exception. We're not looking at exceptions. We're not looking at outliers here, guys. When we talk about dating, and I say, you know, a girl doesn't want a man who earns less money than her, I'm not saying that there are girls out there who aren't dating guys who don't earn anything. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's just something to consider, right? Let's keep going.
Tell us how short we're talking.
he was like maybe like that much shorter than me.
Okay.
It's like
Like
yeah,
the size of my penis.
How tall are you?
I'm like 5'10".
Am I tall enough?
Maybe, if you proved yourself.
If you proved yourself. Guys, we are not out here proving anything to these people, right? If you're a guy and you're still interested in dating, please do not go out there with the idea that you're trying to impress people. Okay? You're not trying to impress people with what you do, what you say, how you act, none of that. Okay? We're not out here, you know, buying expensive cars and stuff to impress some girl. All right? At the end of the day, this whole thing of like, well, I'm an independent woman and, you know, a guy's got to impress me and show me like why he has a position in my life. No. That's not how it works at all, guys. If you're out there and you're trying to impress a girl, all I can say is good luck to you, my friend, because it's not going to work out very well. Okay? There used to be a time when, you know, you as a guy, your kindness, your generosity, your resources, your commitment would be taken a bit more seriously. But these days, it's just a joke, guys. You want to give up your commitment, you look like a damn clown. You want to show that you're trying to attract the girl, that is the quickest way to run her off. And I don't say that to be mean to the guys who are trying to impress girls. I say that because I want you guys to know there's just a far more effective way of doing it if you're interested in dating at all. And the more effective way is to not give a crap when these people try and... Guys, when a girl says, I want a guy to prove something to me, no. Like, what are the girls worth? I'm sorry, but, you know, why are we as the guys expected to prove something? Yeah, this is 2021. You're a strong, independent woman. You've got body counts in the hundreds. Why am I proving anything to you? Let's continue.
Am I tall enough?
Yeah, I think so.
Am I tall enough?
Yeah. Sorry.
So you're saying I'm not tall enough? Is that what you're saying?
Like in my standards.
You know, so like, let's just quickly look at the ratio, right? What was that, like two to two? Like one said he had to prove himself, and then one more said no, and then the other two were like, yeah, I guess, right? Now, guys, when we're talking about dating, I want you guys to consider for a moment the fact that this is one criteria. Okay, so we're only bringing up height here. Now, what if you start to factor in money? What if you start to factor in looks? What if you start to factor in charisma? Okay, what if you start to factor in where he lives? Right, you get all of these sort of different things, and before you know it, she's looking at your damn star sign, and you have no chance at all. Okay, so like when guys talk to me and they want to talk about like dating apps and stuff like this, you guys have to understand that things like dating apps and dating in general in 2021 is pretty soul crushing for men, right? And the reason for that is because these people have so many options, these girls have so many options that you're just dismissed just because. They'll find they don't like the color of your shirt, your hair is styled the wrong way, you're slightly too short, you're slightly too tall, you're too muscular, right? They'll just make up some BS metric. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a lady in this video who says, you know, a guy can't be short because he reminds me then of my brother, right? So, again, this isn't supposed to be an overly pessimistic video, guys. I would just like you guys to know the correct metrics you're actually looking at, right? So you'll get these girls who say, oh yeah, just be yourself, just have a good personality, all of this crap, right? I would much rather men actually have useful information than try and operate on those sorts of pieces of advice, because you're going to get nowhere with them. Let's keep going.
Oh. So if I was like super funny,
Yeah.
if I was like super interesting, and
Yeah.
I was like buff,
Yeah.
you would overlook me being 165.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't buy that for a second. I really don't.
163 is okay, like I'm like 158, so it doesn't matter. But the personality for me is the main thing, so like if you can't vibe with them, it's really hard to communicate.
Yeah, guys, it's all about the vibing and the personality, right? Don't even worry about this money thing. Don't even worry about looking good, being tall. Hey, you know what? None of those things matter. At the end of the day, what really matters is your personality. Can I get a raise of hands who in the audience believes that? Right? I don't believe it. I don't think you guys should believe it at all. And the reason for that is because it's objectively wrong. Okay? We're not out here believing things just because they sound pretty. Right? Girls have a habit of saying things that sound pretty, but are just totally and utterly ineffective. Okay? Now, that would be fine if you weren't giving advice. See, when men ask questions, we're actually trying to get the correct answers. Like, we're actually trying to solve a problem. That's why men ask questions, because we're actually trying to solve a problem. Girls ask questions because, you know, they want to understand the context, they want to feel listened to, they want to get some sort of emotional hit out of it. They're not actually looking... Guys, when was the last time you solved a woman's problems and, like, everything just went smoothly and... No. Okay? These people who come to you with problems, you're not their solving, fixing guy who can just be called on a whim. Okay? Let's continue.
Anyways.
What advice do you have for guys that are a little bit shorter and do want to get into the dating world, but are just feeling a little bit, I guess, like insecure about the whole thing?
Just play off what you have, you know?
Play off your strengths, right?
Yeah.
Yo, you a king.
Height is part of the looks. So if their personality is really good, then it's just gonna
You would
overall
compromise?
Yeah. Frankly, don't talk about your
I don't believe that for a second. Like, did you guys catch that? I'm just going to play this again right here. I did not believe that. Let's have a look.
is really good, then it's just gonna
You would
overall
compromise?
Yeah.
I do not. If you saw her face then, guys, I do not believe that for a second. Right, and again, not to make this an overly pessimistic video, guys, but again, these women are ruling you out by height alone, and we're only talking about height. Like, we're not even talking about money yet. We're not even talking about how you actually look yet, how you actually behave. Right? So we're not even considering all of these metrics, and already these women are like, well, I want a guy who's taller than me. You see what I'm saying? And now I get that, you know, with these girls, we're not going in depth about what they bring to the table. Who knows, right? Maybe they actually hold in the laughter, gentlemen. Maybe they actually bring something to the table. Like, we don't know. And obviously, so these conversations can look a bit more like, well, I demand off the bat. But at the end of the day, you've got to ask yourself, like, okay, if women are going to have these expectations of me, that I be tall, that I make X amount of money, you know, etc., then you have to be asking yourself, if you're a guy and you meet some of those criteria, you got to be asking what they bring to the table. Because you can't just be accepting any girl out there, right? Like, if you've gotten to the top, You can't be accepting girls who bring nothing to the table because, quite frankly, guys, a lot of them don't bring anything to the table. Let's keep going.
Frankly, don't talk about your height and focus on the person that you're interested
Play
in.
your strengths, eh?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Show your personality. Cause like
Keyword, personality.
cause like if they don't like your height, then maybe they're not right for you.
100%.
Well, just
I mean, that would be very easy advice to follow if most men had a choice. Because most men don't have an abundance of options. Most men don't have any options insofar as dating goes. So when you tell them, oh yeah, well maybe she's just not the right girl for you, what are they supposed to do with that information? The only thing they can actually do is just say, well, I give up, I've got no options, there's nothing I can do anyway. Right? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like if guys could discard options so readily, like I mean they wouldn't be having the problems that they're having. Right? But the problem is a lot of men don't have options. A lot of men are dismissed based on BS criteria. Right? Are there a lot of weirdo men? Sure. But there's also a lot of good men who are being dismissed just because of like, oh well, he doesn't earn enough money. Right? And meanwhile, at the same time, men are being told, hey, you know what? It's just all about your personality. Like, we'll dismiss you for your height and your money, but when you ask us, oh, no, it's just about personality and vibe, man. Right?
just accept the fact who you are and just develop yourself in every way. And keep developing yourself. Don't stop once you hit somewhere.
Does height matter when it comes to dating?
Yes.
Fuck.
I'm gonna say yes as well.
Yes, just a little bit taller. How tall are you?
I'm 154, so I've never met a shorter guy. It's fine. Maybe yes? No.
How tall are you? You want to stand up? I just want to see how tall you are.
What does it say? Dude, oh,
Oh, yep, okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what these tallies say. Like, it really doesn't. They could all say yes, they could all say no. At the end of the day, you're just getting incorrect information. Okay, so like, what is that? What is that? 7 for no, height doesn't matter. 11 for yes, height matters. Now, guys, of those 7, how many do you think are actually telling the truth? You see what I'm saying? Like when you go out and you try and gather data like this, it's actually useless. The only thing that verifies information like this is if you actually try it. And you know what? Men have damn well tested it, and you know, the results are in, gentlemen. It actually matters. Okay, so like, guys, I just want the takeaway from today's video I wanted to talk about is just be careful where you're getting your advice. And I know that's rich for me to say because I'm just an animated character on a screen for you. I don't particularly care as long as you go out and you look for the advice that you think works and then go out and test it. I don't care if you listen to my advice. I don't care if you listen to the next guy's advice, okay? But at the end of the day, you have to be trying to find advice that actually works for you, right? Because if you go out and apply what these people say, I mean, good luck to your dating life. All right, if you listen to what society's default advice for men is, you're going to end up in a dead bedroom marriage, and then your possessions are going to be taken afterwards. And I wish that was just me being like, oh, that's just me being cynical and negative about it. Like, no, that stuff literally happens. Okay, now I think the latest statistic on marriage, if I'm not incorrect, was something like only 6.5 men out of 1,000 are getting married now, which I mean is great, but it's still 6.5 too high. You feel me? So again, just be careful, guys. And when you get advice, if you're a guy who's out there choosing to date, I can't blame you if you're not choosing to date at the moment, to be quite honest with you. But just make sure that the information you're getting is not total and utter BS, right? And many of us know on this side of the internet that if you want dating advice, guys, you do not ask girls for it. I don't say that to be mean. I just say that because their advice is just useless. Let's keep going.
As long as he's taller than me, I like taller guys.
What's up? We're here with our friends
Jonathan
and
Eway.
And Eway. All right, and you two are dating, right?
Yeah.
No, we're just holding hands.
Just holding hands. Yo, okay. All right. So cast your mind back in time. Imagine if you were single before you met Jonathan, right?
Yeah.
So, would you have dated him if he was short?
Shorter than me.
Yes. Like we're talking like that's all, like Tyrion Lannister.
That reminds me of my brother, so...
Yo!
I'm gonna go.
Friend zone, fuck. Advice for short.
Guys, I really wanted to pick apart this interaction in particular, okay? Because I'm just going to move it back so we can see a little bit more of like the body language here. So we're gonna have a look at these two. Okay, I want you guys to tell me who's in control of the situation. Is it this guy or is it her? Who looks more experienced? Is it this guy or is it her? Right? Who looks more vulnerable? Is it this guy or is it her? You see where I'm going with this? Okay, so this guy, like, And I want to point this out real quick. So when she's asked the height question, she says, well, I wouldn't date him because it reminds me of my brother. What a absolute... If you sit down, you actually think about that response for 2 seconds, it very quickly makes no sense at all. Right? Does that mean that every guy who's short or shorter than her reminds her of her brother? Is that how it works? Is she just you see how it just falls apart because she can't afford to give an answer that makes her look shallow. Right? Girls are like PR people, like press people. They've always got to give the answer that makes everyone smile and happy and nod along and go, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then they get home and realize, like, wait a second, they didn't even answer the damn question. Like, they literally didn't even answer the damn question, right? And the thing is, another reason why she had to say that is because, like, this guy has to stay ignorant. He can't know what's going on, right? Like, if he knew the metrics by which she was judging him, maybe he'd think differently. Maybe he wouldn't be so naive. Now, I don't say this to knock on the guy at all. I don't say this to be mean to the guy at all. But if I'm looking at him, I think in my brain, I'm like, man, this guy is in for a rough one. Like, this guy's going to have his heart broken probably a few times before he starts to understand what the hell's going on, if he understands at all. See, many of these guys who are in this particular situation that this guy's in, they don't even come to the truth at the end of the day. Right? I've got guys in my comment section who will tell you, I wish I had this information 20 years ago. Like, I wish I knew what I was doing 20 years ago. I wish I knew where I stood in relationships 20 years ago before I got married and before I lost everything in my kids. Okay, so when you look at situations like this, it's not so funny anymore. Right? It's not so cutesy, like we're not having a joke. Like, yeah, if you're there in the situation, you might joke along. But you got to have a look at it and think, man, this guy's in for a really rough ride. Okay, now I'm just going to finish off today's show, guys. I'm going to pull up a quick story over here, if I can find it. This one right here. Now, I wanted to read this because a lot of guys don't really understand the actual situation that they're getting themselves into. So I'm just going to jump right in and kind of explain afterwards. So bear with me, gentlemen. My 29-year-old male fiance, 30 female, wants to open our relationship 2 months before our wedding. Hi, thanks for reading. It's going to be a long one. My fiance and I have been together for about 6.5 years now, engaged for about 3.5. We finally started planning our wedding about 6 months ago. We had to put it off for so long because we wanted to save money and focus on work and school. Then COVID lockdowns went into effect and we had to put it off by another 1.5 years. My fiance works full-time and is 3 years into a software development degree, going to school full-time. So right off the bat, let's just talk about this for a second. She's not paying the bills. All right, this girl does, like, she'd have to be paying the bills through government assistance or something like that. If she's working full-time, she's not making money, okay? I work full-time in tech support and I'm working on certifications. Since she's been going to school, I have tried to pick up the slack around the house, cooking daily, cleaning, not as much as I would like, getting up early to make her coffee before she leaves, things like that. Things that I thought would help her focus on school and minimize her stress from outside things. And you know what? The thing he doesn't even mention in there is the thing that I said, which is he's probably paying the bills. So not only is this man running around the house trying to do all the cooking, cleaning, trying to make her happy, making her coffee and stuff, and do all of this, he's probably paying the bills as well. So just keep that in mind as we continue. And I'm going to switch back to this screen so you guys can see the entire paragraph here. Since we have been planning the wedding, everything seemed to have been going fine. It's stressful planning for it, so I kind of took responsibility for it. Again, he's doing things. But checking in with her before making any major decisions about it, of course, because she naturally leads the relationship, right? It's a small wedding with family only. Like I said earlier, the planning has been going for about 6 months. Around the time we started planning our wedding, she said that she would like to raise a child together. We had previously discussed possible adopting, but likely weren't going to have any children, so this was a pretty big change. We discussed it over the course of the next few weeks, and I decided this was a change to our future that would be good. It also shifted our focus to start saving for a house. Last Saturday, so 5 days ago, she says she's been seriously contemplating what she wants in her life and how she wants to live it, and that she doesn't know if she wants to be monogamous or have a child any longer. Guys, I cannot stress enough, many guys think I'm trying to be rude or trying to be awful when I say this. It is not your responsibility to be trying to pick up the pieces of a damn relationship, right? I get guys in here who tell me, Taylor, I ran around doing all this trying to make my life happy. See, men are sold this bill of goods, in the words of Mr. Tomasi, that you happy. What's the phrase, guys? Happy wife, happy life. That is not the case, guys. You need to be focusing on yourself, doing what you care about, okay? None of this racing around, making a girl coffee, you know, trying to make her happy, guys. At the end of the day, you've only got one life, and you can't be wasting your time trying to please people, trying to pay their bills, trying to clean the house, okay? Guys, we're going to leave it on there. I didn't mean to be much of a negative video, but I just want you guys to be aware of the kind of situations that men get themselves in. And, you know, when you're looking at interviews like this, everything sort of becomes a little bit less funny. I know a lot of the things we bring on the channel, you know, I have a bit of a laugh at, but I can't help but feel bad for this guy right here, okay? But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave the link to the full thing in the description. Go and show this guy's channel some support. You'll be able to watch the full thing without me rambling over it. And as always, guys, we're going to leave it there. If you'd like to support the channel, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description for exclusive videos and stuff like that. If you're interested in supporting the channel, subscribe on your way out. Drop a comment. What do you guys think about today's particular video? If I'm wrong about anything, please tell me in the comments, guys. That's what they're there for. And as always, take care, boys. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.